Hi, my name is Amanda Rocha. I am an estate planning and probate attorney in California, and today I want to discuss with you whether or not you should update your estate plan. Before I get into that, I want to give you my contact information. You can find me on my website at www.amandarocalaw.com. You can find me on social media at Amanda Rocha Law, or comment down below if this platform allows you to do that. The reason I want to talk to you today about whether or not you should update your estate plan is because I recently had an intake call with a potential client whose parents own several properties and have sold some of them along the years, through the years, and have gained others. They have an estate plan that is several years old, but it doesn't reflect this. So I thought this would be a wonderful opportunity to talk about what happens in this instance, okay? So first, when you create an estate plan, if it's trust-based, even if it's will-based, but if you own property like this, you're better off having a trust. So if you have a trust and you name your properties in your trust, and then you've gone through and changed the title of all of your properties to be owned by the trust, that's known as funding your trust, by the way, and you sell a property, your trust is not going to fail because you have property listed on the trust that you no longer own. So the trust is going to be fine. They're just going to the trustee is going to look at that line item and just cross it out. It no longer applies. Furthermore, if you have property listed on the trust that you no longer own, that doesn't mean that the people who bought that property or were gifted that property don't legally have it. So the person who creates the trust is the original trustee generally. They have power during their lifetime to do with whatever in a revocable trust. So if they own 3 houses and give them all away, they can do that, and it doesn't matter what the trust says. So just know that if you get rid of some of the property in your trust, unless it's owned by someone else as well, and you did that in an incorrect way, it's okay if some of the items in the trust are no longer owned and can't be given to the beneficiaries. However, if you obtain new property after you have a trust or will, and you haven't added it in, you might be missing out. So there's a way in which you can say in your trust, any property I obtain afterward should be included in my trust property as long as the trust itself owns that property. Okay, so you buy a house after you have an existing trust and you name the trust as the owner of the property and you had that clause that I just mentioned, then you will likely be fine. But if you own the new property as under your name, and you don't have the trust own it, then it will likely pass as if you didn't have an estate plan at all. So you do need to update your estate plan when you obtain new property. If you have a ton of property or only one piece of property in your state at all, then you need to update it when you get rid of property as well. So it's going to really depend on your situation. But if you have one home and that is the only thing funding your trust and you sell it, then your trust isn't going to mean anything until the trust owns something else. So make sure that your new homes are funding your trusts, and that you update your trust when you need to do that. In addition, you need to update your estate plan every time you have a child or adopt a child, every time you leave the state. You might want to change things as your family grows, or if a spouse passes away as well. So just periodically, you should be looking through your estate plan to see if anything no longer applies. And if you have any questions at all about that, you should contact your estate planning attorney if you had one. And if you didn't have one, or you don't want to go with them anymore, or you can't, contact me. I would be happy to discuss the details with you and let you know whether you might need to add something into your trust as an amendment, or restate, which is rewrite your entire trust, or something else entirely. So feel free to comment down below with any questions, or find me through my website, www.amandarocalaw.com, or on social media at Amanda Rocha Law. Thank you.